We all Google random things every day. Recipes, movie trivia, how to spell restaurant, but there are some searches that take you to a dark corner of the internet. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. Today we're diving into disturbing things you should never Google unless you want the heebie-jeebies for the rest of the week. Picture a happy cicada emerging from the ground after years underground, ready to buzz for the whole summer. But something is very, very wrong. Instead of a normal body, its entire backside is missing, replaced with a chalky white mass of fungus. This is Massospora, a parasite that infects cicadas and takes over their brain. What's disturbing is that the fungus produces chemicals similar to hallucinogens, which make the cicada hyperactive. Even though half its body has rotted away, it keeps flying, it keeps mating, and keeps spreading spores. Basically, it's like a real-life zombie bug. Googling this will show you photos of cicadas with their abdomens missing, a puff of white fungus where their body should be, still buzzing around like nothing is wrong. It's disgusting, and it's terrifying, and it's also 100% real, unfortunately. In the 1950s, residents of Minamata, Japan started noticing something strange about the local cats. The animals were twitching, convulsing, and moving as if possessed. Some even danced around uncontrollably before dropping dead. At first, people thought it was just odd cat behavior, but soon humans started showing similar symptoms: tremors, slurred speech, hallucinations, and in severe cases, death. The cause was later discovered to be mercury poisoning from industrial waste dumped into the bay. The mercury built up in the fish, the cats ate the fish, and the people, they ate both. Googling this pulls up haunting images of sick cats and later tragic photographs of Minamata disease victims. It's disturbing not just because of the symptoms, but because it's a chilling reminder of what happens when pollution spirals out of control. If you've been around here for a while, you might know that I absolutely do not like spiders, so this is a fact that makes me feel itchy. Imagine looking up at the sky and seeing hundreds of spiders falling on top of you. In Brazil, that's not just a nightmare, it's real. Every few years, videos appear online showing what looks like spider rain. In reality, it's a species of spider that creates massive webs high up in trees and power lines. When the webs break apart, it looks like the spiders are literally falling from the sky. Locals describe it as stepping outside into a horror movie, and I think it sounds like stepping into the 9th circle of hell. If you Google spider rain Brazil, you'll see footage of an entire sky filled with crawling, dangling spiders. Absolutely disgusting. Don't you agree? Louse. This one is controversial, and that makes it even creepier to Google. Full Google rabbit hole with this one. Morgellons is a condition where people believe fibers or threads are growing out of their skin. Patients describe feeling constant crawling sensations like bugs under the skin, and they often collect strange fibers that they say come from their bodies. The medical community is split. Some doctors argue it's a form of delusional parasitosis, while others say environmental contamination or unknown infections might be involved. Googling Morgellons brings up disturbing close-up images of skin lesions filled with colored threads. Whether it's a psychiatric disorder, a medical mystery, or something else, the photos alone are enough to keep you up at night. And also the idea that we can't agree on if it's real or not. Going to doctors only to have them tell you it's just made up. This is like 2 horror stories in one. Here's a disturbing one that doesn't involve diseases or parasites, thankfully, but it's unsettling in a completely different way. In Gabon, Africa, scientists discovered something unbelievable: a series of natural nuclear reactors. 2 billion years ago, uranium deposits in the ground went through natural fission, creating self-sustaining nuclear reactions. For hundreds of thousands of years, years, these reactors released radiation underground, all without human involvement. It's like nature built its own Chernobyl long before people existed. Googling the Oklo fossil reactors will pull up diagrams and photos from the site, and it's disturbing to realize that the Earth itself once ran nuclear power, and it could theoretically happen again. In 2017, sewer workers in London made a disgusting discovery that still haunts people today. Deep in the sewers, they found a massive fatberg, a solid, rock-like mass made of congealed fat, cooking grease, diapers, wipes, and whatever else people flushed down the drain. This one weighed 130 tons and stretched the length of 2 football fields. Breaking it down took weeks of manual labor, and the descriptions from workers are stomach-turning. Googling London Fatberg brings up photos of what looks like a giant, pulsating blob of waste stuck in the sewers. It's disturbing because it's not fiction, it's the reality of what happens under our cities when we treat the sewer system like a trash can. I feel like any person who had to deal with that deserves early retirement. Honey is supposed to be sweet and harmless, but not all honey is safe. In parts of Nepal and Turkey, bees feed on a kind of flower that contains a natural neurotoxin. The honey they produce is called mad honey. It looks normal, but eat too much, and you experience dizziness, hallucinations, vomiting, and even heart failure. Historically, armies used mad honey to poison enemies. Today, certain thrill seekers still try it for its psychoactive effects, but cases of poisoning are well documented. Googling mad honey poisoning will show you people collapsed after consuming it, as well as locals scaling dangerous cliffs to harvest this deadly honey. The coconut crab is the largest land crab on Earth, weighing up to 9 pounds with claws strong enough to crack coconuts. But what really disturbs people is its diet. These crabs are opportunistic predators and scavengers, and there are documented cases of them hunting and eating live birds. One set of photos shows a coconut crab climbing a tree, snatching a seabird, and dragging it back down to devour it. If you Google this, you'll see the unsettling sight of a giant crab tearing apart a bird with its claws. Is it the worst thing ever in the world? Probably not, but it is deeply, deeply unsettling. This one sounds like a bad horror story, but it's very real. The tongue-eating louse is a parasitic isopod that spends its life inside a fish's mouth. It starts by swimming into the gills of the fish and then latching onto the base of the tongue. At first, it just feeds on the fish's blood, slowly draining the tongue of circulation. Over time, the tongue withers away completely. That's when the louse does something almost unbelievable. It physically takes the place of the missing tongue. The parasite attaches itself to the muscles in the mouth and basically becomes a working replacement. The fish can still eat and survive, but every time it moves its tongue, it's actually moving the parasite. There are confirmed cases in snapper, grouper, and other tropical fish, especially off the coast of California and in the Gulf of Mexico. Fishermen have posted photos online of opening up a fresh catch and finding a bug staring back at them from the mouth. Imagine cutting into your dinner and realizing its tongue has been replaced with a living creature. Scientists say it's the only known parasite in the world that can fully replace an organ, and while it doesn't usually kill the fish, it's disturbing to think about how many of these creatures could be out there hiding this creepy little secret on the inside. Nasal myiasis is one of those medical conditions that will stick in your brain forever once you see it. So sorry. Myiasis is the technical term for an infestation of fly larvae inside human tissue. One of those things that I wish I didn't know. In this case, the larvae crawl into the nasal cavity and start feeding on living flesh. It usually happens in tropical and subtropical countries where flies are common, and it's most often reported in patients who are already sick or elderly since they're less able to fight off infections. The symptoms are horrifying. Patients feel a constant crawling sensation inside their nose and face. There's intense pain, bleeding, and often a foul smell because the tissue inside is literally rotting away. I'm so sorry for saying that. In documented cases, doctors have pulled out dozens of maggots wiggling from deep inside a patient's sinus cavity. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. In the most extreme situations, the larvae don't stop at the nose. They can migrate into the sinuses, the eyes, and even the brain. That's when nasal myiasis can turn deadly. Medical journals contain photos and surgical footage of these removals, and they are not for the faint of heart. If you Google it, you'll see doctors holding tweezers and pulling out clusters of live maggots that look like something out of a horror movie. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. Sorry, it was absolutely horrific. Let me know if you Googled any of these things. I know you little freaks out there did. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski. I'll see you again later. Goodbye. Bye.